The difference, the way you tell, is that there were no Brunner's glands in the submucosa, and there were none of these in the mucosa. These are huge lymphatic nodules, and we call them Payer's patches. They only occur this large, anyway, in the ileum. So if you don't see Payer's patches in your mucosa, and you don't see Brunner's glands in your submucosa, then you're in the jejunum. It has neither. Okay. Ileum is the last 5 or 6 feet of the small intestine. There's villi. We know we're in the small intestine because we see villi and intestinal glands. You see lamina propria inside the villi and between villi. We see muscularis mucosae at the base of the mucosa. So it tells us we're looking at the small intestine. Then we see these. This is a large lymphatic nodule with a couple of germinal centers in it. That's where immune reactions are occurring. B cells becoming plasma cells.
So I have a question. So the ileum has the Payer's patches in it.
And what are those?
Those are Payer's patches, large lymphatic nodules.
The big circles in the middle?
Yeah, all of this.
I didn't really see those,
lymphatic
though.
nodule. There's a germinal center inside one. That's where immune is supposed to be.
I didn't see that in the jejunum. Payer's patches?
No, they're not there.
Just in the ileum.
That's how you know you're in the jejunum. If you don't see Payer's patches
Well,
in
you're
your
confusing
mucosa,
me. Oh, okay.
and if you don't see Brunner's glands in your submucosa, then you're in the jejunum. It doesn't have either. If you see Brunner's glands, you're in the duodenum. If you see these, you're in the ileum. Don't see either, jejunum.
Okay.
The process of elimination. See, look at all of them. There's another big bunch of them.
Ileum. Payer's patches.
Okay, let's see. If we look at the columnar epithelium here, on some of these, look at all the goblet cells. See, we've got abundant goblet cells. So there's simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells, loads of them. There's our lamina propria inside this villus. There's our brush border, strip of microvilli. Those are the things we look for on the villi, small intestine. And this is the tip of the villus. You see simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells. Goblet cells secrete mucus. There's the lamina propria. You see the brush border on the outside edge.
So what makes the jejunum stand out? Just the fact that it doesn't have Payer's patches or the Brunner's glands?
Or Brunner's glands. That's it.
Okay.
The absence of those things. Okay.
This on the edge, is that the serosa here? This is what you're looking at right now?
No, that's going to be below the mucosa. Below the muscularis. See, where we are right here is in our mucosa. So we were looking at the edge of one of these, seeing the brush border.
And that's the mucosa then.
This is from here up. That's all mucosa. We've got villi, we've got intestinal glands, we've got lamina propria, and then here's our muscularis mucosae along the bottom here.
So are you going to show a picture of this possibly and ask the layers?
No,
No, we'll use
slides.
microscope.
Not going to use pictures.
Well, that's what I meant, the slide. Are you going to show a slide like that and ask the layers there and what it is?
You can ask anything.
Yeah, ask whatever's there. At low magnification, I can ask which tunic is this, ask about villi, ask about intestinal glands, things like that, muscularis mucosae, lamina propria. We get to higher magnification, we'll go to goblet cells, or the muscularis mucosae is best
Payer's
seen at this.
patches.
Yeah, I can do Payer's patches at scanning, they're huge. Brunner's glands, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I should be able to recognize
Could
these
you show us
features at
again?
whatever magnification we're at.
Before you get off these, could you show us again the duodenum and what the Brunner's glands looks like again before you?
Yeah, they were filling it up there. It's glandular tissue, like on the model a little bit. Yeah, okay, there's your muscularis mucosae. That's from there up, then is mucosa. You see your villi, your intestinal glands, simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells, brush border, lamina propria. All of that is in there. Now, okay, here's our, let's see, let's go this way. There's Payer's patches in the mucosa. Here's our submucosa. This is the submucosa, areolar connective tissue, that's submucosa. A lot of blood vessels in it. Here's muscularis. There's our muscularis.
But
It looks,
Paris patches is in the submucosa.
Payer's patches actually are in the mucosa. They're part of the molt.
Oh, okay.
Mucosa, they kind of intrude down into the submucosa a bit, but they belong to the mucosa.
Okay.
They may do this. They may penetrate down. When they do, if you watch, you can see that the muscularis mucosae bends around them, so they're actually in the mucosa. They're part of the molt, which is mucosa-associated lymphatic tissue. Payer's patches are part of the molt, so they're in the mucosa. They may invade the submucosa a bit if they're really big. Okay, right here, all of this is muscularis. Okay, which layer?
longitude.
Circular.
Circular.
It looks like
layer.
longitudinal.
Then longitudinal.
Okay, that's backwards.
Circular
Yeah.
layer, longitudinal. Well, no, not really. Circular is your innermost. It's going to be adjacent to the submucosa.
I
It's
mean,
the
it just
biggest.
looks backwards.
It
That
does.
Looks like
It looks
should be
different.
longitudinal, and the other one
The
looks like
circular
it should
looks
be-
like it should be
It's again
the
because we have
outer.
it's again because we have a
The
cross-section view. We've got this kind of view again.
Yeah.
In a cross-section view, the circular is going to look like that.
Mhm.
Longitudinal will look like this, which is what we've got there.
Yeah.
So, but when we had the other one,
Yeah,
the inner one looked with the fasciculus, or what was
yeah, it
going
was the
down.
longitudinal section
Okay.
for the other one. Okay, and then what's this?
That's the
Mesenteric.
mesenteric.
Myenteric nerve plexus. That's Auerbach's
I
plexus.
keep saying mesenteric.
In between circular and
I
longitudinal
know
layer,
it's
there's
terrible.
Auerbach's
I'm gonna get it
plexus.
wrong on the test.
Right there. And let's see, if we look at the outside edge of our longitudinal muscle layer there, right down here. There we go.
That doesn't have a special name, right? They're all myenteric plexus.
Well, right here, that's your serosa. You get a
No.
glimpse of our serosa.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
all myenteric plexus.
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah, in between the circular and longitudinal layer, it's the myenteric plexus. There is a Meissner's plexus, but it's hard to find, so I haven't bothered to try and locate it for you. But you can see it on the models, like that. There's myenteric plexus, or it's also called Auerbach's plexus. Okay, so that is our
Ileum.
ileum, and you recognize it because of these.
Payer's patches.
Payer's patches. They're in the mucosa in the ileum.
Okay.
So your muscularis mucosa is going to go around the bottom of that, so that's in the mucosa.
So what's going, starting from the top, you have the, is that villi?
Mhm. Villi, simple column epithelium with goblet cells. That's your lamina propria. You have intestinal glands, then your muscularis mucosae, and in the ileum, the lymphatic nodules get huge like this, and they're called Payer's patches. You can see germinal centers in them. That's where immune responses are going on.
So to see the goblet cells, you'd have to be on higher
Yeah.
magnification.
We want to be at least at low power.
Airy looking thing. Like
There's low power.
Rice Krispies.
We want to be at least at low power. And best seen perhaps at high dry. There's high dry.
You can see them.
There's
Okay.
your goblet cells. And now you can see your brush border. A
The
strip of
brush
micro-
board is on the outside of the villi,
Strip of microvilli
and then
around the outside edge.
lamina propria is inside the
Is that my
villi.
circulatory layer?
Circularly, yes.
And then right underneath that's the myenteric,
Mhm.
and then that's my.
Your longitudinal layer.
Longitude.
That's it. You got it.
So I have a quick question. So the purple in mine is the Payer's patches.